Hello. This is a book I have. How to Know God, the Soul's Journey into the Mystery of Mysteries. The contents. It should be focused. It's just that I have a lot of unexplainable technical difficulties. Okay, contents. Number 1, a real and useful God. Number 2, mystery of mysteries. Number 3, 7 stages of God. Stage 1, God the Protector. Stage 2, God the Almighty. Stage 3, God of Peace. My hand's shaking. Stage 4, God the Redeemer. Stage 5, God the Creator. Stage 6, God of Miracles. Stage 7, God of Pure Being. I am. 4, a manual for saints. Spiritual awakening. The mind field. 5, strange powers. Inspiration and insight. Geniuses, child prodigies, and savants. Memory of former lifetimes. Telepathy and ESP. Alter egos, multiple personalities. Synchronicity, clairvoyance, and prophecy. Oh, yay. And there's more. 6, contacting God. A map of the soul, the state of union, the power of intention. In notes and further reading. In what concerns divine things, belief is not appropriate. Only certainty will do. Anything less than certainty is unworthy of God. Oh yeah, that's my book in the back. Birds. How to watch and understand the fascinating world of birds. A real and useful God. God has managed the amazing feat of being worshipped and invisible at the same time. So you can see it. I'm trying, people. Millions of people might describe him as a white-bearded father figure sitting on a throne in the sky, but none could claim to be an eyewitness. Although it doesn't seem possible to offer a single fact about the Almighty that would hold up in a court of law, somehow the vast majority of people believe in God, as many as 96%, according to some polls. This reveals a huge gap between belief and what we call everyday reality. We need to heal this gap. What would the facts be like if we had them? They would be as follows. Everything that we experience as material reality is born in an invisible realm beyond space and time. A realm revealed by science to consist of energy and information. This invisible source of all that exists is not an empty void, but the womb of creation itself. Something creates and organizes this energy. It turns the chaos of quantum soup into stars galaxies, rainforests, human beings, and our own thoughts, emotions, memories, and desires. In the pages that lie ahead, we will see that it is not only possible to know this source of existence on an abstract level, but to become intimate and at one with it. When this happens, our horizons open to new realities. We will have the experience of God. After centuries of knowing God through faith, we are now ready to understand divine intelligence directly. In many ways, this new knowledge reinforces what spiritual traditions have already promised. God is invisible and yet performs all miracles. He is the source of every impulse of love. Beauty and truth are both children of this God. In the absence of knowing the infinite source of energy and creativity, life's miseries come into being. In the absence of knowing the infinite source of energy and creativity is where life's miseries come into being. Getting close to God through a true knowing heals the fear of death, confirms the existence of the soul, and gives ultimate meaning to life. Our whole notion of reality has actually been topsy-turvy. Instead of God being a vast, imaginary projection, he turns out to be the only thing that is real and the whole universe, despite its immensity and solidity, is a projection of God's nature. Those astonishing events we call miracles give us clues to the workings of this ineffable intelligence. Consider the following story. In 1924, an old French villager is walking home. With one eye lost in the Great War and the other severely damaged by mustard gas in the trenches, he can barely see. The setting sun is bright, so the old man is completely unaware of the two youths on bicycles who have wheeled around the corner and are barreling down on him. At the moment of impact, an angel appears. He takes the lead bicycle by its two wheels, lifts it a few feet in the air, and sets it down safely on the grass beside the road. The second bicycle stops short, and the youths become tremendously excited. There are two, one of them shouts, meaning that instead of just the old man alone, two figures are standing in the road. The entire village becomes very worked up, claiming afterward that the youths were drunk, or else they made up this fantastic tale. As for the old man, when he is asked about it, he says he doesn't understand the question. Could we ever come to an answer ourselves? As it happens, the old man was a priest, Père Jean Lamy, and the appearance of the angel has come down to us through his own testimony before his death. Lamy, who was saintly and beloved, seems to be credited with many instances where God sent angels or other forms of divine aid. Although reluctant to talk about them, his attitude was matter of fact and modest. Because of Lamy's religious vocation, it is easy to dismiss this incident as a story for the devout. Skeptics would not be moved. Yet I am fascinated simply by whether it could have happened, whether we can open the door and allow helpful angels into our reality, along with miracles, visions, prophecy, and ultimately that great outsider, God himself. We all know that a person can learn about life without religion. If I took 100 newborn babies and filmed every moment of their lives from beginning to end, it wouldn't be possible to predict the believers in God will turn out to be happier, wiser, or more successful than the non-believers. Yet the video camera cannot record what is happening below the surface. Someone who has experienced God may be looking on the entire world with wonder and joy. Is this experience real? Is it useful to our lives or just a subjective event, full of meaning to the person having it, but otherwise no more practical than a dream? One bald fact stands at the beginning of any search for God. He leaves no footprints in the material world. From the very beginning of religion in the West, it was obvious that God had some kind of presence, known in Hebrew as Shekinah. Sometimes this word is simply translated as light or radiance. Shekinah formed the halos around angels and the luminous joy in the face of a saint. It was feminine, even though God, as interpreted in the Judeo-Christian tradition, is masculine. The significant fact about Shekinah was not its gender, however. Since God is infinite, calling the deity he or she is just a human convention. Much more important was the notion that if God has a presence, that means he can be experienced. A note on gender. Finding a pronoun for God is not easy. In keeping with common tradition, this book uses he, but surely God transcends all gender. I could have rotated 3 different pronouns, he, she, and it, but that would not have gotten any nearer to the truth, and it would have made for very clumsy reading. I have not read this book in its entirety, and I am excited to start reading it again and hopefully finish it soon. I have the peace of mind right now to read, and that's a blessing that I should, and I will, and I do thank God for. Have a great weekend.